Hello, everyone. My guest today is Emna Gariani. She is the CEO and co-founder of Veamly. Before the company, Emna helped launching several companies as a global director of the Founder Institute and built several products as part of her previous company. She has a dream to change the way people communicate and kill the world of assumptions. Emna, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, absolutely, Nathan.
All right. What does Veamly do and how do you make money?
So Veamly is a priority workspace across collaboration tools. That means it's a desktop app where we bring all of the collaboration tools like Jira, Slack, Intercom, Zendesk, you name it. And on top of that, we give the user a prioritized feed of all the conversations across their tools. So and we are a SaaS platform. And right now we are still free. So we're going to start charging in 2019.
Okay, so you're pre-revenue right now.
Yes, pre-revenue.
Okay,
yes.
How many free users?
Right now we are testing a private beta with few companies, about 10.
Okay. Very good. And walk me through the timeline here. When did you launch the company or the idea?
So we started this last year, mid 2017, and we went to market fall 2017 with a couple of customers, testing it out. And then we kind of closed it out, went into a lot of product development, and now again back into soft launch with few companies. So
and are
still
they
in the process of implementation? Yes.
How are you supporting? So have you raised capital? I mean, how are you supporting yourself in these early stages?
We were mostly bootstrapped and with a few angels, and also we were part of a seed accelerator, the Refiners.
Okay, so how much total capital into the company?
About 200K.
200. Okay, so you're using that money to kind of pay your necessary bills and do all that stuff while you focus on growing.
Well, actually, so just to be clear, 200K with not full capital in, but with everything. It's actually more than that we pay the bill with. We put our own money in. That's the point. So I'm not counting that.
Yeah, got it. You have 200 from outside investors and then some more from you and who else?
And my co-founder. So my co-founder is Ramsey. He's my CTO. Has more than, he's been in the software industry for many, many years. And we have 8 other people with us as well.
Very okay. So you have 8. So you have 10 people total.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, how much runway do you have left? You better. It sounds like you have to start getting some revenue coming quickly.
Well, because we're based between here, San Francisco, and Tunisia. We're not all based in San Francisco.
Okay. Well, you still have to. People don't work for free usually.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people actually came in really believing in the vision and worked for free, including myself, for a very long time. And now we're starting to pay people, and also we have capital coming in. So yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said you're pre-revenue.
Yeah, we're fundraising.
Okay, so when
you're gonna have capital coming in, yes.
Got it. So how much are you looking to raise right now?
Right now, we're raising about 500K.
Okay, and walk me through what that sales pitch sounds like for other people that are also pre-revenue looking to raise capital. This will be valuable.
Yes, absolutely. So to the investors, you mean, right?
Yeah. What does it sound like? So I might, for example, if I'm going to be skeptic right now, Emna, you already took in 200 grand. You're still pre-revenue. Why am I going to give you another 500K now?
Because so right now what we spend time on is redeveloping the core technology and the product. And right now we developed a very big pipeline of large companies, but also smaller companies with organic growth. So the next amount of capital, we will use it really to reach product market fit, to validate the different use cases we are testing out right now under operations, which is DevOps, product, and support in B2B. And it will help us really get to the true revenue. So yeah.
Okay, so
and early SaaS metrics, yeah.
The 500,000 you're raising, if you spend that all, I mean, will you be post revenue, or will we have to raise again before you start driving real revenue?
No, we will be post revenue.
Okay, when do you think you'll be post revenue, this year or next year?
Yes, early Q2.
And how are big question early entrepreneurs have to figure out is pricing. So how are you planning to price this thing?
So we tested a little bit. Right. At the beginning, we were targeting just managers. So it was a little bit on the high end where we're charging $200 per user per month. But right now, we're going to have more of a freemium model where we're going to have people use a part of it for free. And then we're going to charge for premium features like Similarity, where we pull similar conversations from your different tools to the current conversation you're looking at. So, yeah.
Okay. So what do you think the updated pricing might look like?
It's going to look like on the upper end as a $200. The top premium part per user, and at the lower end, that's $20 per user.
I see. So how are you? Yeah. Do you currently have a free base that you're hoping convert? You convert 5% of them to $20 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the free? Sorry, what is the free base today?
Sorry, you cut off a little bit.
So I'm trying to figure out where you're getting confidence that you're going to be post revenue soon, right?
Yes,
That's what I'm trying to
absolutely.
understand.
Yes.
So how many free users do you have right now?
Right now, between the 10, we have about around 100.
Okay.
So we're still very early. We didn't really push that much in the market. Yes.
Okay. So you have 100 free users, and how many of them are actually active? In other words, how many of them actually took action that you know is directly attached to value?
So right now, like the ones we have, they're using right on a daily basis. So for us, what we're optimizing for is what we call the stickiness metric, which is really having them stay in the tool for 4 to 6 hours a day. The idea is to be your workspace, to use it on a daily basis. So that's why we're confident that by beginning of Q2, as we deploy more of the premium features, we'll be able to really upgrade them to paid customers. We also, as I said earlier, Nathan, at this stage, usually startups, there's no really definite answers. So we tested a lot. We had a lot of assumptions that were wrong and some of which were true. And even in pricing, like we charged some people, and then, then we decided to open it for free and keep it for free till Q2 to really test for this assumption of stickiness.
Mm-hmm. So how's it panning out? Are people staying in it for 4 to 6 hours?
Absolutely. So we're having really awesome testers, and they're liking it right now. Some people, we saw some people get out because of some obviously instability in the platform, or sometimes it's management decision, meaning like, let's say a product manager brought it in and then they're like, no, this is not the right time for us to have everybody use it. So we had a couple of those, but right now really we're seeing great adoption.
Okay. Again, I'm trying to really quantify how you're measuring adoption. So across the 100 users right now, on average,
Yes.
how many hours per day are they spending in the tool?
Around 4.
Okay, so you have about 400 human hours
Yes.
logged every day inside the platform.
Yes, because here's the thing. The Veamly prioritization feed is on top, but they can still access their Slack and their Jira and everything. So they're working in these tools within Veamly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But what I'm trying to say is, like, is the hour number really a accurate measure of your value, or is it really just sitting at the top of their screen while they use Slack below it?
Right now, I cannot give you an exact metric in terms of how much they're spending on each tool exactly versus looking at Veamly. The goal is that they look at Veamly when they start the feed, and then they work with it, and then they're pulled back into the feed when something important shows up and they need to act on it, and then they go back into their tool. That's kind of like the user behavior we're seeing.
Where is the value that this is what I'm trying to figure out. Where is the value that you add, and how do you figure out what metric to measure that is directly attributed to the value that you're adding?
So the value we're adding is really saving them time, meaning that usually they'll spend, let's say, 2 hours going through all their messages and comments on tickets and on pull requests and everything. And then they're spending like 90 minutes instead of 2 hours, or an hour instead of 2 hours. So because what Veamly does, it goes and treats everything and it brings all the important stuff on top. And they can still do quick actions from Veamly that go straight to the original tools, like quick replies, creating tickets from them, and more.
So your goal is to save them time.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
But so isn't it ironic that the activation metric you're measuring is 4 to 6 hours in the app? It should actually be 0 time in the app, or 1 minute per day, or as least as possible if your goal is to save them time.
Yes, actually, because as I said, Nathan, like it's a workspace, and the idea is like they're accessing all their tools in one place as well.
I understand, so, Emna. I clearly understand what you're saying. What I'm countering with is, if I'm only going off what you're telling me. If you're telling me that Veamly is going to make me more productive, I'm reading your website now, get me out of the vicious cycle, the immediate response to pressure, the Gmail and Slack and Basecamp and Trello. I should use your app. I should be in your app less time per day, not more, because it means I'm being more efficient.
No, I understand what you mean there. So let me clarify more. When I say that, it means I want them to be working out of Veamly as a workspace instead of them opening multiple apps. And then, of course, there are additional metrics that we look at, like how many replies they sent, how many conversations they archived, how many they started, how many people they interacted with, who are the people they interacted with most. And there are additional metrics. But the first goal is to keep them inside of the workspace. And then to get them like to see the first feed, to process it. And then as they keep using it, like we keep adding value with the additional features. So maybe I should have explained that better on my side. So that's where the 4 hours comes in, meaning like all your management that you need to do, all your communication, you open it, you access all your tools, and Veamly would process that information faster than you would with you opening every app separately, looking at every notification, not knowing what to focus on first.
Yeah, no, I understand. And after they connect all their feeds, are you doing things from like a machine learning perspective where you'll say, respond to this first, respond to this second, that kind of stuff?
Yes. So for us right now, we developed an engine that's using NLP and deep learning that helps detect what are the top priorities for that user. In the beginning, the prioritization is done based on the text. So like SaaS, tech, all of that, if the system is down or bug or somebody is sick. But then as they start using it, we have the system learns from them based on their behavior, like who they interact with the most. Like if Nathan, for example, you're my best friend or the person I talk to the most, you're definitely going to show up on top before somebody else.
Yeah, that's interesting. Good. So when are you actually putting up the hard pricing wall? When should you start seeing revenue coming in, you think?
Can you repeat, please? Because
sure. Yeah.
Yes.
When do you decide? How do you decide? This is a decision every first-time founder has to make. When do you actually put up a pricing wall and force people to pay if they want to use this thing?
So so in the beginning when we tested, right, we went directly into premium. Like there was just a free trial period, and then they would pay for it after 30 days. After testing that, we realized that actually it's better to let them use the tool for free a little bit. So like even the prioritization is better and everything to their needs. And then really use customer success pretty much to push them to upgrade for the premium feature and show them what they can get more out of that.
Okay. So when do you think, what month do you think you're going to put up that April?
April.
Q2. Okay.
Beginning of Q2. Yes.
That's great. And that's good. And you're trying to raise that 500K before then or after that April?
No, right now. Like by April, we'd be raising our seed round.
Got it. Right now. Do you have and is that 500K, is that a convertible note or actual equity?
Convertible. Safe.
Convertible.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. And do you have people that put in the 200? Are they leading that, or you have to go out and get a new lead?
We have people leading that already. Yes.
That's great. That's great. What are terms like today in the Valley that you're seeing? Are they like, is this a safe you're using?
Safe. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. That's great. Good stuff. Well, you have to come back on and give us an update after you move this stuff forward. I love talking to folks that are at your stage because you got to start somewhere, right?
I know. Absolutely.
All right. First question. Yeah. We're going to wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
My favorite business book is actually an old book, which is Getting to Yes. It's for me the Bible of negotiation. Like it was written in the 80s, and I love that book. It was driven me. So that's my favorite book.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Actually, multiple. So I'm following. I follow a lot Jason Lemkin for sure. I know it's not necessarily like a startup, but definitely as a CEO and what he's done. Biz dev, but also a lot of CEOs closer in stage, like a Series A, all of that, like Mathilde Front, for example, is definitely a role model to look after.
Yep, she's great. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the business?
I love Trello, so I really do, which is funny because my CTO will say Jira, but it makes things so much better and easier.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Around 6.
Okay, 6. And what's your situation? Married, single, kiddos?
Single.
No kids?
No kids.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 29.
29, very good. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I wish I knew immediately that I needed to do something about communication, even though I love everything I've done before, but definitely my why is communication. And I am so obsessed by it that I feel like we need to kill this information overload and be better at it. So I wish I knew that early on, because at 20, I did not know that at all.
Invest in communication and getting better at it early on, says Emna. Again, founded Veamly here just this year. They have a bunch of free users using the platform, helping to make and streamline all of your workflows into one place so you can be more efficient, get more done, and generally be happier every day. Emna, thanks so much for taking us to the top.
Thank you.